A reminder, we are just one night away from our opera final here at Cardiff Singer. We'll be here every step of the way, as will no fewer than 3 of tonight's contestants. It's worth remembering 2 singers have done the double here in Cardiff, most recently the immensely popular American Jamie Barton in 2013. Now, all illustrious careers have to start somewhere, and in the case of our final singer, that somewhere was driving a taxi cab in his native Mongolia. In got the local police chief, who signed him up for the police choir. And who'd have predicted that that fare would eventually bring him all the way to Cardiff? Let's meet Ariunbaatar Ganbaatar.
You had a great opera program full of wonderful music that you sang so well. What is the biggest difference for you? How do you refocus from opera to recital?
Миний хувьд бол яг дотроо яг тухайн бүтээлээ дуулахдаа дотроо яг тийм одоо яг тухайн бүтээл юуг өгүүлж байна тэрийг л маш сайн бодож тэгээд багшийнхаа захиж хэлснээр л дуулдаг да.
When you are on stage, who are you singing to?
Миний мэргэжлийн багш өөд болсон. Тэгээд тайзан дээр гарах болгондоо одоо ер нь бол гарах болгондоо би багшийнхаа бол боддог. Тэнгэрээс одоо харж намайг одоо харж одоо ингэж баярлаж дээрээс нь намайг одоо дэмжиж ингэж байгаа болов уу гэж би боддог.
If there's one thing you're trying to convey, what is it?
Миний хувьд бол тухайн дууг мэргэжлийн одоо төвшөнд дээрээс нь одоо бас их сэтгэлээсээ дуулахыг л одоо боддог. Сэтгэлээсээ дуулсан дуу болгон бол хүмүүст хүрч их одоо юуг аз жаргал, итгэл үнэмшил, урам зориг авчирдаг байх.
It was an all-Verdi programme which took Ariunbaatar to victory in his opera round, but tonight he's all set to demonstrate his versatility. First, the music of Schubert and a serenade, the text taken from Shakespeare's Cymbeline. Clear Williams is his pianist.
Schwanke Wimpel rauschen in des Mondes Licht, in des Mondes Licht, des Verräters feindlich Rauschen, fürchte Holde nicht, fürchte Holde die Nachtigalle schlagen, ach, sie fliehen nicht. Mit der Töne süßen Klagen fliehen sie für mich. Verstell des Busens sehen, können Auch dir die Brust bewegen, Liebchen, höre mich, wegen tag ich dir entgegen. Komm, beglücke mich, komm, смертный бой от лунного света зарденева склона выйди сена, выйди сена, скорее на балкон. От Севили до Гренады сумраке ночей раздается серенады, раздается стук мечей. Много крови, много песней, для прелестных льется дам. Я же той, кто всех прелестник, все песни кровь мою от лунного света зарденева склон. О, выйди сета, о, выйди сета, скорее на балкон.
Finnish Ariunbaatar takes us home with him. Music by Mongolian composer Shador Biamsuren, transporting us to the pure air and calming plains of the mighty steppes. Jamro A trip to the great steppes of Mongolia from Ariunbaatar Ganbaatar, ending his entry for the Cardiff Singer of the World 2017 Song Prize. Clea Williams, his pianist. The 29-year-old baritone, the last singer to appear in this final.
Let's go straight to my guests. Mary King, it looks like you need a bit of that pure air of Mongolia.
I can't speak. I find it unbelievably moving.
Why?
You want me to speak? There's something about what he represents, I suppose, just singing in that language, to hear him sing in his own language, and the immense sharing, the generosity of his performing. The voice is overwhelmingly beautiful, but it's not that, it's the generosity of the spirit, and I can't really speak anymore, and it's not fair, and you're my friend.
John Mark Ainsley, you're not crying.
I'm not crying, no, but I am really very moved by what he just did. He's a force of nature as much as he's a singer, and generosity, I think, is the word, not only of voice but of spirit, with which he pours himself into all of these songs. I have to say, I'm not sure that his future lies in the recital room, but whatever he decides to do, it's certainly going to be a major, major talent.
What about his Schubert, the serenade that opened his performance?
Well, it's again very heartfelt, but not his natural repertoire. For Schubert and also for some of the other repertoire that he sang, you do need a slightly more disciplined and precise approach if you're really going to be a world leader in that repertoire. But it was winning to hear.
What about the Tchaikovsky that we heard him sing?
I think the Tchaikovsky suited him down to the ground. It's melodic, it's overtly emotional, and you could see him responding to being able to pour himself into the melody. And I really do think that he has a great, great future in front of him.
Mary, you've cleared your eyes a little.
Yes, he is. It's just so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful singing.
Thank you both very much indeed. Let's go backstage and join Angel.
Wow, that was just an amazing performance that you just gave. It's like I could see the heart of Mongolia and feel the heart of the people and see the blue skies that you talked about. You must be very proud to bring this music to us.
Энэ сайхан маш сайхан дуулаа үнэхээр гайхалтай байна. Тэгээд Монгол орны хөх тэнгэр Монгол орныг би өөрөө мэдэрлээ өөрийн чинь дуу хоолоогоор та үүгээр их бахархаж байна уу?
Монголынхон хөгжим зохиолчийн энэ сайхан дуу энэ сайхан тэмцээнийхээ тайзан дээр дуулсан дуу үнэхээр зүрлэшгүй сайхан байна.
There is nothing to compare how I feel now by bringing this Mongolian composer's song to this great stage of the competition.
Well, thank you very much. Best of luck to you. Bravo.
Thank you.
Well, this is the moment each night where we've been interrogating one of the jurors on their way to the jury room. And tonight I've actually lured two of them to join me here. Eilish Tynan, who won this song prize back in 2003, and John Gilhooly, who is head of London's Wigmore Hall, might well end up booking some of the singers that he's seen this week. John, the greatest singers in the world pass through the doors of your hallowed establishment. How do you decide who's good?
Well, you ask yourself the question, can this person sustain a 2-hour recital? Is there enough colour, enough interest in the voice, in what they bring to the text, to the poetry? Do they touch us? Do they reach out and touch us? Do they own the stage?
And have you heard that from some of the singers that we've listened to this week?
Absolutely. It's a very, very close competition. I suspect that we'll be talking for a little while in the jury room. There were 3 exceptionally good performances.
Ailish, what's this like for you, being on the other side of the arena here at St David's Hall, sitting there with the judges rather than being out there on the stage?
Well, it's lovely, isn't it, to be doling out the criticism instead of receiving it, Petra, but I have to say I agree with John. It's going to be a very difficult decision tonight, and I think I enjoyed it better in the last Cardiff Singer of the World when you and I were sitting like just having a punt as to who it was going to be. Now the decision really counts, and it's a difficult one.
I remember you describing one performance last year as like standing under a chocolate waterfall.
Oh yes, and I was right, it was.
Anything like that this year?
I think there might have been a bit of that.
Any tears from you? We had Mary King in tears just a second ago at our final singer.
Yes. I wouldn't like to say exactly where or when, might give the game away, but there was a lot of emotions in these performances tonight.
Well, if you're going to take your time to come up with a decision, we better let you go now. Thank you both very much indeed, Ailish Tannen and John Gilhooly. We are always overwhelmed by the calibre of our jury here at Cardiff Singer, and this year is really no exception, with the legendary Grace Bunbury joining the panel. Angel had the chance to sit down with Grace to discuss the importance of competition within the world of opera.
Miss Grace Bunbury, you are a living legend, and it is such an honor for me to sit here today and be able to speak with you.
Thank you.
What does competition mean to you?
Well, competition is very important. I remember my first competition was in St. Louis, where I come from, and I lost that competition. That was the first and only one I ever lost. But it's important to have knowledge of how to compete. You know, just going to a competition is not really saying enough. You have to know how to compete. You have to know the rules of the game.
What can such a high-profile competition with high-profile judges, what can that do for a singer?
Oh, this competition, I think, I really mean it, and without flattery, I think it's the #1 competition of the world. The #1, because of the fact that you have so much exposure and that you couldn't possibly pay for the publicity that you get. You can't pay for it. And it comes with the package. So it behooves you to really take part in this competition above all the others. I mean, there's some other wonderful ones, but this is #1.
What advice would you give to the singers, just in a career in general?
To be as honest with your voice as you can be. You might make a wonderful sound, wonderful, wonderful, warm sound. But is that your real voice? And it's the real voice that takes you far. The voice that needs to be allowed to happen, not make it happen.
Well, thank you, Grace, for being here. Safe advice for any singer from a true legend. Now, we're expecting the jury back any moment, so let's just have a quick reminder of the singers that we've heard tonight.
From the USA, baritone John Chest. The first of our 2 home finalists, Scottish mezzo Katrina Morrison. Then the second of our triumvirate of baritones, Ukrainian Yuri Samoylov. The effervescent soprano Louise Older, representing England. And finally from Mongolia, baritone Ariunbaatar Gunbaatar.
Let's get an opinion as to the rightful winner this evening from my guests. Mary King, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, and you've had several presents, I think, tonight.
I've had a wonderful evening, actually. Katrina, fantastic, warm-hearted, spirited individual. Louise was just so polished, such finesse, such musicianship, and Ariunbaatar was himself.
John Mark. I know you've enjoyed yourself here.
I certainly have, and I was listening to the singers earlier today in the rehearsal, and I have to say I thought I knew definitely then, but having heard this evening, it's really thrown the cat among the pigeons. I absolutely agree that Katrina Morrison for Scotland and Louise Alder for England are certainly two song masters in the making. And if I had to predict, I probably on this evening would give it to Louise Alder.
Mary?
I want there to be two prizes.
Yes.
And
Can't
the girls.
have that.
Oh, but I really want it. I think that both girls should get it. And I'll just say the other person, Katrina, just because I think there were things that she did that were so imaginative and unobvious.
Okay, the jury I know are about to come on stage. Thank you both very much indeed for being here. Mary King and John Markins.
First on stage, Dame Kiri Takanawa, competition patron. It is her who will announce the results. David Pountney, chairman of the jury. Ailish Tynan, John Gilhooly from London's Wigmore Hall, the Austrian baritone Wolfgang Holzmeier, and the legendary American mezzo-soprano Grace Bumble.
Als wij daar ichi gibt, we have joint winners. Ladies first, Katrina Morrison. Gentlemen second, Ariunbaatar.
Well, I don't know if you heard that whoop from Mary King then. I mean, you said you wanted two winners. I've never heard of this before at Cardiff Sing of the World, but you've got your wish.
I did, and I'm so happy, really happy for those two, for different reasons. He is a life force vocally, and she is a real artist, such an interesting artist.
John Mark Ainsley, are you happy with joint winners?
Absolutely. I mean, Katrina, I concur. She really is a powerful song singer in the making, and the sheer force of personality and generosity.
Well, they're going to have to contest another trophy. Unheard of events in the final of the 2017 Cardiff Singer of the World Song Prize. Katrina Morrison from Scotland, Ariunbaatar from Mongolia, joint winners. And the weekend's only just started. Tomorrow, three of tonight's singers, Louise Alder, Katrina Morrison and Ariunbaatar, have to do it all over again in the opera final, up against tough competition in the shape of the Australian tenor Kang Wang and the enormously impressive American Anthony Clark Evans. 7:30 is the time to join us. Until then, we'll leave you with not one, but two winners of the 2017 Cardiff Singer of the World Song Prize.
Together